Hello everybody, my name is Baquero. This is my task 3 for the course English Advanced, a fairy tale, Philip Science and the Multicolor Fish. Once upon a time there was a generous boy called Philip Science. He was on the way to see his friend, David Brown, when he decided to take a shortcut through the Yellowstone. It wasn't long before Philip got lost. He looked around, but all he could see were trees. Nervously, he felt into his bag for his favorite toy, Mr. Sugar, but Mr. Sugar was nowhere to be found. Philip began to panic. He felt sure he had packed Mr. Sugar. To make matters worse, he was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw a multicolored fish dressed in a blue scarf disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Philip. For the want of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiarly dressed fish. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, Philip reached a clearing. In the clearing were two houses, one made from corn and one made from cakes. Philip could feel his stomach rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Philip looked at the roof of the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble to a fixture or like the odd feeding in a time of need. A cackle broke through the air, giving Philip a fright. A witch jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Mr. Sugar. "Mr. Sugar!" shouted Philip. He turned to the witch. "That is my toy!" The witch just shrugged. "Give me Mr. Sugar back!" cried Philip. "Not on your Nelly," said the witch. "At least let Mr. Sugar out of the cage." Before she could reply, the multicolored fish in the blue scarf rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. "Hello, big fish," said the witch. "Good morning." The fish noticed Mr. Sugar. "Who is this?" "That is Mr. Sugar," explained the witch. "Oh, Mr. Sugar would look lovely in my house. Give it to me," demanded the fish. The witch showed her hat. "Mr. Sugar is staying with me." Excuse me," Philip interrupted. "Mr. Sugar lives with me, and not in a cage." Big Fish ignored him. "Is there nothing you'd trade?" he asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, "I do like to be entertained. I would release him to anybody who can eat a wolf from there." Big Fish looked at the house made from cakes and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from cakes if I want to." "There is no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one from there, and I'll let you have Mr. Sugar." Philip watched, feeling very worried. He didn't want the witch to give Mr. Sugar to Big Fish. He didn't think Mr. Sugar would like living with a multicolored fish, away from his house and all his other toys. Big Fish put on his bib and withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this workhouse," said Fish. "Just watch." Big Fish pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from cakes. He got damn smelly and went back for more and more and more. Eventually, Big Fish started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first. But after a few more forkfuls of cakes, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit as round. I don't feel it too good," said Big Fish. Suddenly he started to roll. He'd round, so round that he could no longer balance. "Help!" he cried, as he rolled up down and slowed into the forest. Big Fish never finished eating the front door made from cakes, and Mr. Sugar remained trapped in the witch's cage. "That is," said the witch. "I win. I get to keep Mr. Sugar." "No so fast," said Philip. "There is still one front door to go, the front door of the house made from corn, and I haven't had a turn yet." "I don't have to give you a turn," laughed the witch. "My game, my rules." The woodcutter's voice carried through the forest. "I think you should give him a chance. It's unfair." "Fine," said the witch, "but you saw what happened to the fish. He won't last long." "I will be right back," said Philip. "What?" said the witch. "What is your sense of the passion? I thought you wanted Mr. Sugar back." Philip ignored the witch and gathered a hefty pile of sticks. He came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully, he broke off a piece of the door of the house, made from corn, and toasted it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the whole piece. Philip sat down on the nearby log. "You failed," called the witch. "You were supposed to eat the whole door." "I haven't finished," explained Philip. "I am just waiting for my foot to go down." When Philip's foot had just, he broke off another piece of the door made from corn. Once more he toasted his foot over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. He ate a leisurely pace that waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Philip was down to the final piece of the door made from corn. Carefully, he toasted and allowed it to cool just a little. He finished his final course. Philip had eaten the entire front door of the house made from corn. The witch stamped her foot angrily. "You must have tricked me," she said. "I thought we were sharing." "I don't think so," said a voice. "I was the woodcutter." He walked back into the clearing carrying his axe. "This little boy won't fight," and swore. "Now hand over Mr. Sugar, or I will chop your broomstick in half." The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Philip hurried over and grabbed Mr. Sugar, checking that his favorite toy was all right. Fortunately, Mr. Sugar wasn't harmed. Philip thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet David. It was starting to get dark. Philip got to the Davis house. His friend threw his arm around him. "I was so worried," cried David. "You are very late." As Philip described his day, he could tell that they didn't believe him, so he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. "What is that?" asked David. Philip unwrapped a dark nap made from cakes. "Green?" he said. David almost fell off his chair. "Ben, thank you very much."